Hey guys, I'm back and I have another spectacular meal for you to try today, and I know you're going to enjoy this. As always, before you get started, please don't forget to comment on this video after you watch its contents, then like it and share it with your friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. I am ready to cook for you, so let's get started. Hey guys, okay, you know what? I am so excited about this meal today and I cannot wait to eat it. What we're cooking today, we're going to do a seared salmon with a variety of peppers to go on the side or go on top of it. Then we're going to do a loaded mashed potato, and it's not really a mashed potato, but a loaded potato to go on the side of it. And we're going to do some steamed broccoli. Doesn't that sound great? Sounds good to me. So before we get started, I'm going to just go ahead and let you know a lot of people don't like salmon. My sister, for example, hates it. She cannot wrap her head around the oily taste that goes along with it. Now, I particularly love salmon, you know, and I always get a salmon fillet, chop it up, slice it, bake it, whatever, but I love salmon. But anyway, I bought this salmon this morning and it has the skin on it. Now, one thing I found for the people that don't like salmon, again, my sister, I think the oily taste or most of it comes from the skin. So I bought this salmon this morning. It has the skin on it. So I am going to take it off. But for the people that are not really familiar with handling salmon, I'm going to show you how I do that. So I'm going to put the camera down so you can see. And here's our salmon fillet right here. And I'm gonna move this so you can see it. But guys, this was just one whole plank of salmon. And what I did is I cut a piece of it off and I just kind of got as much as I wanted of it to make 4 fillets. So what I do is, I don't know if you do this or not, but I use my kitchen shears. So I've already cut off one piece, you know, that I want. And so I'm going to do this to cut off the rest of it. So this is, and the kitchen shears makes this so easy, guys. I know a lot of times, you know, we use knives to do this, and I had before in the past, but I've just found that when you use a kitchen shear, it is just so much easier to handle. I also use my shears like when I'm cooking chicken wings. I don't like the little tip on there, so I use my chicken shears to cut the tip off. And this skin under the bottom of this salmon, guys, is not easy to deal with. So this makes it a little bit easier to kind of just cut through that skin without having to use so much effort to do it. See, we did that in about 1 minute. Okay, now when you're talking about taking the skin off your salmon, how I take mine off is I grab an end of it and I get a sharp knife and I just go under the skin. You just take your knife and just run it under the skin. Keep it as close to the skin as you can, but under the skin no less, and you just go right through it. Now, you may get a little extra meat off there that you're not trying to get off, but that's okay. And just hold it and just kind of slide your knife through it between the meat and the skin. And there you have a wonderful piece of skinless salmon. Now, we have a little stuff, but I'm going to toss this to the side. I'm going to do one more piece for you so you'll see how easy it is. Again, just grab a piece of the skin at the bottom and take your knife, a sharp knife, and just run your blade between the between the flesh of the salmon and the skin. And it comes off fairly easily. All you do is, like I said, make sure your knife is sharp and be careful not to cut yourself like I do all the time. And just take it right off. And there you have it. And guys, one more little trick for those people that don't like the oily taste. This little silver part, or this little dark part of the salmon right here, I go even further to try to eliminate that taste, and I just get that off as well. I just take my knife, and any piece that's a little bit too dark for me, I just cut it off. Just like so. Simple. Nothing new. Let's do our other piece so that you can see it. This has a little piece on it at the bottom too, so we are going to take that and just get rid of it. And like I said, for people that love salmon, this is probably not an issue for you. You probably don't think twice about the little dark part on there that may have a little bit extra oily flavor to it. But for people that don't actually like it, it's just as simple. You don't have to have it. You can just take it off. And there is your wonderful pieces of trimmed and dressed salmon. So I am going to pull this back up so you can see. And I'm sorry, guys, that's just hard to do with dirty hands. But I am going to take the skin off our other pieces of salmon here, and we are going to be right back, and we're going to cook this meal up because I am ready to eat it. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, we are back, and we have our yummy, beautiful salmon fillets all skinned and washed and cleaned. So now we're going to season them. Now, if you remember the last video we did, I told you that I mixed up this little seasoning. It has the paprika, the onion and garlic powder, and the black pepper and salt in it. And I told you it was great on fish, chicken, and pork. So we're gonna just get some of this and sprinkle. And guys, I put a spoon in here, but I'm gonna use my fingers because I can do that better with that. So we're just going to liberally sprinkle our salmon. And I'm not gonna cross-contaminate anything. I'm gonna not use this again once I'm done since I put my fingers back in it. But we are going to just sprinkle our salmon with this liberally. Okay, you know what I mean. Like I said, we're just gonna season it and get the flavors and things all in there. Get it all nice and coated with our little season, our little rub here. And we're going to flip it over. And we're going to do the same thing for the other side. And guys, that salmon, that fillet that I bought, this is only half of how big that thing was. I don't know how many pounds it was or how long or anything, but this was only half of it. I just cut half of the fillet that I had, the total fillet, and we have 5 yummy, pretty big sized portions of salmon fillets here. And we did not even we used just half of what we actually bought. So this is a good little dish, and this can be for dinner or lunch or whatever you want to serve it for, guys. This is a wonderful meal, and like I told you earlier, I am excited about doing it. So we have our salmon all seasoned and covered with that wonderful little rub. And I'm just trying to get it on liberally, guys, because I want to taste it on every little piece that I get and get it going. All right. So now we are going, whoops, this camera is hard to do today, but I'm doing my best. So I'm going to go back here and wash my hands, and then we will be ready to cook. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I'm back. Hopefully my camera will do better now. I will anyway. So let's get started. What we already have on the stove here, and I'll let you see. This is our pot boiling here. It has just boiling water in it. That's for our steamed broccoli. I'm going to let that boil for just a minute because that's going to be our last thing to cook pretty much, or the second thing to cook. This is our pot right here that we're going to do our potatoes in. And all I have in here, guys, is just a half a cup of olive oil. So we are going to put our potatoes in there. And this is 3 large potatoes that I peeled and chopped. And we're just going to get those in the pot. Very simple. And guys, this is a 3-quart saucepan, so this covers a little bit over half of the pot. So we have our potatoes in there, and I am going to add just a bit of water. And I wanted, the potatoes cover about half of the pot, we're going to put water in until about 1/4 of the pot. So that means, I don't know how many cups of water this is, but I wanted to not completely cover the potatoes because we're not going to drain these. We're going to let the water and steam cook our potatoes, but in the midst of that, we're going to let the water evaporate or dissipate out. So I'm going to put that, we have our water and our potatoes in there, and we're going to go over here and get our little container here. And what we're going to do is, we're going to put about a tablespoon and a half of salt in there. And we can always go and add more if we need. And we're going to put about a teaspoon of pepper. And you know I love my black pepper, so you know I'll probably go back later and add a little bit more, but it's okay. And we're going to do 2 heaping spoons of dried chives. And guys, I love chives and potatoes. It's just the best thing ever. I don't know about you, but I love it. In that, we are going to go ahead and put our butter in there, guys. And this is 2 teaspoons of butter. And we're just going to dump it in. And we're going to let that cook and boil. And we're going to put a lid on it. And guys, I'm going to leave this crack just a little bit because I want it to boil, but I want some air to be released out of it because, again, we're trying to let this water evaporate. We're going to use the water and the steam to actually cook our potatoes and get them nice and tender. So I want some of the steam to go out of there. So we're going to cover that. Now we're going to add our broccoli in. And guys, this is just my little steamer pot. I'm going to put my broccoli in, guys, but I'm not going to put a lid on it because I want to see when my broccoli starts to turn colors. That's when I know that it is the way that I like it. So we're going to take our, I'm going to move this closer, guys, just to not make a complete mess here. And we're just going to put our broccoli in our steamer without the lid. And that's just so I can see, you know, when it starts to turn colors, I know that it is the way that I like it. Okay, so we're just going to put that on like that, and we're just going to put it back on the heat and let it do what it does. Okay, now guys, I know that in order for this to make steam and that steam to come up, just because it's boiling, it's going to steam anyway, and just the residual heat from the steam is going to cook our broccoli. Again, I don't like my broccoli mushy. I like it to still have a little bit of crunch when we're done with it. So that's why I'm not going to cover it. I want it to just cook open like that. So when I see it starting to turn colors, that's the way I like mine. So that's why I'm going to take it off the heat. While that's cooking, guys, we're going to get our little container here once again. And we're just going to put a little bit of sprinkle of salt on there. Again, as much as you like, that's about a teaspoon for me. And we're going to add a little bit of black pepper. You know I love black pepper. I've said that 1,000 times. And this is just a tablespoon of black pepper. And we can mix it once it goes, but we're just going to put it on there so it can start doing its thing and getting all wonderful. Now we're going to get started with that salmon. That's what I am, that is what I am trying to highlight, and that's what I want to eat. So I am ready. So I'm going to put this camera down for you so you can see us with our salmon, and I hope you can see that. Okay guys, we are back and we are ready to get to cooking that salmon. So I'm going to grab my tongs here. I'm going to put my camera down so you can see. So I'm going to grab my tongs and we are going to start sauteing this salmon. That looks wonderful already. And I think we're going to be able to get about 3 of them in there. But they don't take long, guys. Just a few minutes to get going. All right. Get that started. Guys, I'm going to take my spoon here and I'm just going to flip my broccoli over a little bit. In addition to stirring in all those wonderful ingredients we put in there, really just salt and pepper, but nonetheless, just get it flipped over so we can get it going. And see guys, I told you, there was no need for a lid because this is already turning colors. And again, I don't like my broccoli really mushy. I like it to, you know that it's cooked, but it's not really mushy and soft. I like a little crunch with my broccoli. So I'm going to put this back down so you can continue to watch our salmon do what it does. Let's turn our heat up just a little bit. I turned it down a little bit, guys. It was just going a little bit too much. So we're going to do that. And guys, it's another rainy day here. I don't know what it's like where you are, but it's raining here again. And if you're like me, I absolutely love a rainy day. So this is just good because once I finish cooking this, I'm going to go in there and watch TV and eat it. Good. Hold on. All right, so we have our salmon and it's bubbling away. And we have our potatoes in there. And I think I'm going to turn the heat up, guys, a little bit on our potatoes because we want these to boil because what we're trying to do is get it to boil, but we want to boil the water out of it. And by the time the water is gone, our potatoes should be nice and tender. And that's what we want. I'm going to grab one of these other spoons over here. And I am going to just stir in those ingredients that we have. And then remember, the only thing in here, we have our olive oil and we have some chives, black pepper, and some salt. That's it. Oh, and we can't forget our butter. And our butter. So we're just going to let that boil. Again, we're just going to put our top and leave a little bit of crack in there so that that steam can come out and release. Guys, look at that salmon already around the sides. Does that not look amazing? I can't wait to eat. All right, guys. I am going to let this finish cooking and get our other pieces in the skillet, but we will be right back. And I am so excited. I am ready. I hope you're as excited as I am. Probably not, but either way, I'm going to enjoy this and I'm ready. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I am back. Look at this. I have flipped those salmon fillets over. How beautiful is that? brown and yummy and beautiful. Ah, I cannot wait. I think it's almost ready for us to take it off. I'm gonna let it get a little bit more brown. We have our broccoli here, guys. It is steaming away, and I did put a lid on it for just a minute because I am about to turn it off. So if you want, I guess I would say you can start it with no lid, but as it progresses, you may want to put the lid on it just to give it the finishing touches. And I'm about to turn it off, so I'm gonna put the lid on it now and just let it sit there. And our potatoes are going. We have our yummy salmon almost done, and it looks amazing. I think I'm gonna take this little piece out right here because it was a bit thinner. And it's done, but oh my God, look at that. How wonderful does that look? Oh my goodness, this piece is ready, guys. I think it's gonna break, so I'm just gonna break it anyway and just put it on the plate. Oh my goodness. That looks amazing. Can you see that? Look at that. Oh my. If that's not wonderful, guys, I don't know what is. I'm gonna go ahead and start these other pieces, guys. I'm gonna put this piece in. And our other little last piece here. Ah, look at that. And I'm going to put this in the sink. Guys, if you could smell the aroma in this kitchen, oh my goodness. I can smell this rub that I did. I told you guys, I can smell that chili powder on there, and it smells so wonderful, like a nice little Texas grill type thing. Oh, it is absolutely amazing. So I think we are almost done with these, guys. I am going to finish sauteing and searing my last pieces of salmon and get those other pieces out of there. We are going to let these potatoes go ahead and continue to get yummy and gooey and tender. And our broccoli is done. We have our lid on it, and we're just going to let it cool down just a little bit. We are done. We are almost ready. Almost ready. It's almost time. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I am back, and this salmon is done. Okay, I'm going to put it down so you can see me take out our last two pieces that we were cooking. Look at that. How beautiful is that? Look at that. Look at the other side. Beautifully seared, wonderful, nice, and juicy. Look at that plate, guys. That is amazing. Okay, you know I can't resist. I have to sprinkle a little chive on there just to give it a little more appeal. And we are going to sit this in our oven so it will stay warm. Can't wait to eat that. Okay, now I told you we were doing salmon with assorted peppers. So I have taken out our beautiful salmon fillets out of our pan here, and we are going to add our chopped veggies to this. And guys, what I have here, we have some red, yellow, orange, and green peppers. We have our sliced white onion here, and we have some little assorted gourmet tomatoes. So let's get that started. So I'm going to start with the tomatoes, guys, because I want those to cook down. And if you know, when you're cooking tomatoes, and I add fresh tomatoes to a recipe, it almost makes like a wonderful, yummy little sauce. So we're going to throw those in there first. And then I'm going to put my camera down so you can see me add the rest of it to it. And I'm going to grab my little kettle here. And we're just going to stir that a little bit. Look how cute those are and wonderful. Okay, guys, we're going to add some of our veggies. We're going to throw in our yellow peppers and our orange peppers. And red. And green. And those wonderful sliced onions. Look at that. Doesn't that look wonderful already? I told you I love food that has wonderful color. It just makes your presentation of it so much better. Okay, I'm going to put this over here. And guys, and all of this takes just us sauteing this down, just letting them wither just a little bit, just to get them all together. And you have a wonderful array of different colors in there. Is that not just, you don't have to do anything to that. Is that just not beautiful all on its own? I love colorful food. It just makes it so much better. Okay, guys, we're going to grab our little container here. And we're going to sprinkle our Norman here. We're going to put a little bit of pepper in there. And guys, this is another thing. This recipe of this meal is very time-wise because we have already cooked our broccoli. It is already ready and done. It's just sitting here still warming, waiting on us. We have seared off our salmon, and it is wonderful and brown and beautiful. And we're still just waiting on our potatoes for that water to evaporate off our potatoes or cook off our potatoes. And while that's happening, we can go ahead and saute down our peppers and everything. So we're going to go ahead and continue with that. So here's our peppers, and we've already added a bit of pepper to that, black pepper. And of course, you know I love chives. I can't help myself. I just love chives on my food. It just gives it another wonderful little layer of flavor to whatever you put it in. And we're just going to do a little bit of salt, guys. If I had to guess, that's probably just a teaspoon. And just sprinkle it in. And we're just going to stir that until it cooks down a bit and gets nice and withered and limp, but it still keeps its natural, beautiful, vibrant color. Oh, and that is just beautiful, guys, all on its own. Oh my goodness. Look at that. I hope you guys are getting the full effect. Let me just lift it. Is it hot? No, let's see. Look at that. Is that not absolutely beautiful? Ah, I think it is. Okay, so let's just go ahead and cook these down, guys. I am going to finish cooking our veggies down. And when we come back, those potatoes should be done, and we can go ahead and finish those off. Time to eat. I am almost ready. No, let me be clear. I'm ready right now, but when this is ready, I'm really ready. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, almost there. Check out these wonderful peppers. Look at that. Is that not the most beautiful thing you've ever seen? Our tomatoes have gotten all soft in there. Mixed with that olive oil, have made a nice little wonderful sauce on there. Our peppers are nice and withered. Onions all done. This could not be a more beautiful garnish or topping for anything. We are going to put our lid on that, guys, and we're going to swap these two. Because now we are going to finish off those potatoes. I told you we were having the loaded smashed or mashed potatoes, or loaded potatoes. We're just gonna call them loaded potatoes. We'll take that off, and our potatoes are all done. Let's get our potato spoon. And I hope you can see that these are all nice. The the water has evaporated off. And now we just have our nice, wonderful potatoes here. And guys, we are going to dress this and get it to where we want it. So we have a couple things to add to it. These are real bacon bits. And this is just 1/4 cup because we want the potatoes to shine, so we're not going to put too much. So 1/4 cup of real bacon bits. Then we're going to add this is probably a little bit over 1/4 cup of cheese. And this is grated Parmesan cheese and sharp Cheddar cheese. And we're just going to add it to our mixture here. And last but not least, yummy sour cream, guys. And this is about a little bit less than 1/2 cup. It's a little bit over 1/4, but less than 1/2. So we're going to add that in. Wonderful. Okay. And set all this to the side. And we're just going to mix it, guys. Just put it, oh, wait a minute. You know, I forgot my favorite thing. How could I do that? It's hard. Chives. We're going to put a heaping tablespoon of chives in there. Maybe a little bit more. A tablespoon and a half. Okay? Of chives. And guys, all you do is just mix this because the potatoes, they have done what they were supposed to do. They have come together. They're nice and tender. No water in there. And we have added our yummy fixins to it. So now we have, and guys, if you notice, I did not smash these potatoes. Once they became tender and I stirred them, they kind of smashed themselves. So you have a, bit of lumps in there, a bit of smashed potatoes in there. But when I tell you, this is to die for. Let you see what this looks like. Wonderful. I know you probably can't see it in this pan or this pot, but don't worry. When I put it on the plate, you will be able to see it. This is hot, and I keep forgetting to grab my mitt. So let's stir it. And guys, I'm not going to stir it a bunch. I just, once everything is incorporated and you get a little bit of everything, that is it. Because I don't want you to lose the look of that. So you'll know what it is when you do it. Okay. All right. We've waited long enough. It's time to put the mitt down, turn everything off, and it's time to plate our food. I will be right back. Okay, guys, we're back. I told you it was just time to eat, and I am ready. Let's go get this food. All right, I have taken my salmon out of the oven. I'm going to put a piece on my plate. Ah, look at that beautiful piece of salmon. Set that right there. We have our smashed loaded potatoes, and I don't know what to call these. They're not mashed, they're not smashed. We're gonna call our stirred loaded potatoes. So we're gonna get a bit of that and get it on our plate. Look at that amazing dish. We are going to open up our broccoli, our steamed broccoli here. And I did not get another set of tongs, man. But don't worry, I have some. Here we go. Let's grab us a couple of pieces of this beautiful steamed broccoli. I'm just gonna put it right in the center of my plate right here. How yummy is that? Oh my goodness. I don't think there has been a more beautiful plate ever created than this. And last but not least, let's grab our tongs and get some of these wonderful sauteed peppers over our salmon. Oh my goodness. And you know what I'm going for, the chives. You know that. Okay, now, if this is not just the best plate that you've ever seen, there's that wonderful salmon right there. That's just a little tomato garnish that I use for the, I use the gourmet tomatoes. How cute, okay? That yummy steamed broccoli, perfectly cooked, and those wonderful loaded, stirred potatoes. Okay, I am ready, guys. Okay, let's put it down so you can see our whole little wonderful getup that we have going on here. And not hopefully see the dirty dishes. Look at that. Is that not the best thing? And guys, I have my wonderful lime water right here. You know about that. I don't need a garnish because there's nobody here today, just me. So, and guys, what I did too on the side of this, I added a little cucumber salad. That is just, all that is just cucumbers that I sliced a long way. I took some tomato, a real tomato, and chopped it. Just put a little bit of ranch dressing over that. And of course, my wonderful chives on top of that. How wonderful is that? Okay, all right. I've waited long enough. It's time to get into it. Let's go. Let me get my knife and my fork here. I'm going to cut off some of this salmon and get some of that pepper to go with it. And guys, you already know I like to taste all of it separately. You know I'm going to eat the whole plate, but let's try this. That's that salmon with a yummy yellow pepper on there. Look at that. Wonderful. Mmm. Oh my goodness. Guys, that salmon is perfectly cooked. Flaky, wonderful, and beautiful. Look at that. Let's get a piece of this wonderful broccoli. I told you was perfectly cooked. Look at that. I should really be ashamed of myself. I should not even cook this for anyone unless I can share it with you and you can actually taste this. I should feel terrible. And I do. Not bad enough to stop eating, but I feel bad. I want you to know that. I'm sorry. I had this already. I have to get in. Oh my goodness. Okay. Last but not least, these yummy, and for lack of a better term, stirred potatoes. Look at that. A little bit of sour cream in there, a little bit of cheese, Parmesan cheese, chives, bacon. What more could you ask for? Let's give it a shot. Now this is really, really hot. If there were ever a meal to die for, this is it. You know what? I don't have any more words except this is simply delicious, amazing, wonderful, the best meal ever. One more bite, guys, and I won't stop this, but one more bite. Wait a minute. I should have said one more bite of everything. Oh my goodness. Okay. As usual, let me stop myself. And guys, I'm not sleeping on the cucumber salad, but if you had this plate in front of you, I'll eat that, don't worry. But if you had this plate, nothing else matters. Nothing. I said one more bite. You know how I am. This is it for real. Seriously, there's a green pepper on there. Oh my goodness. That is just wonderful. And guys, when we started this, I told you, there are a lot of people that don't care for salmon. But I promise you, if you try this, it might just become your favorite fish. It is amazing. And those peppers, what those peppers do, if you don't like that oily flavor that kind of accompanies salmon, this kind of detours that flavor a little bit. You don't get all of the oiliness that you get from the salmon. And remember, we skinned it ourselves, so we took all the excess darkness off of it that, you know, kind of holds that little oily flavor, and we took off the skin. So this is a wonderful meal for everyone. And guys, please forgive me. Lord, please forgive me. I started eating this again without saying my grace. And I told you I always say my grace before I eat my food. But I am always so anxious to get this and let you guys see what it's like. I forget. One more time, Father, thank you for the food that we have received for the nourishment of our body. Thank you for your son, Jesus Christ, Lord, who died on the cross for our sins. And thank you for just you, Lord, for being as gracious and as merciful as you are. We give you, Lord, all the praise, all the honor, and all the glory. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen. I am going to have to get better with that. I am always so excited about eating this food. I cannot ever forget about God, so I'm not forgetting about him. I'm just being extra greedy. Forgive me for that. Guys, don't forget to actually be kind to everyone that you meet. It is not hard to do, and it'll make your day go a whole lot better. Once again, thank you for tuning in with me today. This was a spectacular meal. I knew it would be, and I could not wait to eat it. I can't wait for you to try it. If you actually try this, please comment and let me know if you enjoyed it as much as I did. I certainly enjoyed making it, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. Thank you so much, and I'll see you the next time. Bye.